You know her as the glamorous star with a picture-perfect life, but Blake Lively's off-screen antics might make you see her in a new light. Some of her behavior has stunned fans and celebs, from roasting her husband in ways that crossed the line to jokes that sparked real-life feuds. But is it all just sporting leg pull or something much darker? Because they all create new controversies. Stick around as we dive into 10 of Blake Lively's most bizarre and shocking moments that had everyone talking. Let's start with Scarlett Johansson. Before Blake and Ryan became Hollywood's golden couple, Ryan was actually married to Scarlett. In case you didn't know, they tied the knot back in 2008, but split just 2 years later. But here's where things get interesting. 2010 was also the year Ryan and Blake started filming Green Lantern. Filming kicked off in March and wrapped up in August, and let me tell you, people on set said the sparks between Ryan and Blake were undeniable. They were all giggles and flirty vibes. But you see, both of them were in relationships at the time. Blake was dating her Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley, who you know from You, and Ryan was still married to Scarlett. But when they hit the press tour for the movie, their so-called just friends claim wasn't exactly convincing. They were spending tons of time together, often alone. Ryan himself later admitted that he knew he had crossed a line, you know? Fast forward a few months. Blake breaks up with Penn and Ryan announces his split from Scarlett, both in the same month. Coincidence? What do you say? Scarlett even hinted at the challenges of being with another actor around that time, saying something along the lines of, when two people's careers are at the same level, it can get competitive. Even if one is more successful, that causes issues too. People think she was low-key throwing shade at Ryan. Plus, there were rumors that Ryan didn't handle Scarlett's success very well. Some even said he was a bit of a control freak. Then, in December 2010, a waitress also reportedly spotted Ryan and Blake having what looked like a romantic dinner. It was just the two of them, laughing and flirting like they were already a couple. And then writer Kat Marnell stirred the pot even more with a now-deleted tweet claiming Ryan and Blake hooked up while he was still married to Scarlett during their time filming Green Lantern in New Orleans. According to her, they were holed up in a hotel room, and Ryan and Blake allegedly did everything they could to keep those rumors under wraps. Now, officially, both Ryan and Blake insist they didn't start dating until they were single. In fact, they said they had a cute little double date a year after filming, except they were both with other people at the time. Scarlett, for her part, isn't exactly good with Blake. Insiders claim there's still bad blood between them, and they go out of their way to avoid crossing paths. Some say Scarlett still blames Blake for her marriage to Ryan falling apart. The real incidents also seem so. What do you say? Is Blake a homewrecker? Next, we got Leighton Meester, the star of Gossip Girl. Blake and Leighton spent 6 years playing best friends on Gossip Girl, but behind the scenes, people were convinced they couldn't stand each other. Rumors swirled throughout the show's run that the two avoided each other at all costs, and even years later, the internet still loves to dig up proof of their so-called feud. In 2024, those rumors flared up again when old interview clips started making the rounds on social media. One moment from a 2008 Paley Fest panel showed Blake joking about monkeys while pointing at Leighton, which didn't exactly land well.
I know pet monkey. Yeah. Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
He's got a few of them.
Come on, it was a joke. Lord have mercy.
In another, she made a comment about how everyone knows blondes are nicer, leaving Leighton awkwardly laughing.
Everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
While some took these as evidence of a deep-seated rivalry, they were more cringy than anything else. The gossip really kicked off back in 2008 when New York Magazine claimed Blake and Leighton avoided each other like the plague. When asked about it, Leighton called out how Hollywood loves to pit female co-stars against each other, pointing out that no one ever asks if male actors secretly hate each other. Blake also said something similar, noting that their male co-stars like Penn Badgley and Chase Crawford never got the same treatment. Over the years, there were even more wild theories. Gossip Girl producer Joshua Safran gave the most realistic explanation. Blake and Leighton just weren't each other's people. Blake was outgoing and chatty, while Leighton was more reserved and private. And there is reason too. When she was born, her parents were in prison for smuggling. Her mom gave birth in a hospital and took care of her for 3 months in a halfway house before going back to finish her sentence. During that time, Leighton's grandparents looked after her. Despite her parents' past, she says she had a normal childhood. But deep down, this upbringing has made her completely opposite of Blake, maintaining less social connection and all. After that, Anna Kendrick.
Years ago, so I've met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. We got the body language experts analyzing this right now.
Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick had some major drama during A Simple Favor, and the tea is piping hot. Rumors say their tension started in 2017 when Anna lightly joked about Taylor Swift. But Blake, being a close friend of Taylor's, wasn't having it. Things got messier when Anna allegedly complained about looking worse than Blake on the movie poster, even asking for her cleavage to be photoshopped to compete. And it didn't stop there. Awkward interviews and a supposed Instagram mute by Anna fueled the fire.
There's a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah. Blake Lively.
A crew member even leaked that the two weren't speaking by the end of filming, and the studio had to step in to keep things civil for the press tour. The cherry on top? During a BuzzFeed interview, Anna brought up Blake being late to set, saying, "That's the day I decided I hated you. We were all talking trash." And trust me, Blake is not like this only with women. One of her most jaw-dropping moments happened on set during a conversation with the producer Jamie Heath. Jamie wasn't just any producer, he was the CEO of Wayfarer Studios and Justin Baldoni's closest buddy. One day, Blake needed to chat with Jamie and some execs, so she called them to her trailer. When Jamie showed up, Blake invited him in while she was mid-makeup removal and breastfeeding. She wasn't topless, but still, a pretty personal vibe. Jamie, feeling awkward, asked if he should come back later, but Blake insisted they handle it right then. But 2 weeks later, things got weird. Blake told Jamie she'd noticed him looking at her during the meeting. Quickly, Jamie apologized, saying he hadn't even realized, but Blake added, "I know you weren't trying to cop a look." Now, that comment hit hard. Jamie is black, and historically, black men faced violence for looking at white women. Blake's unfiltered comment is worse, given her plantation wedding and history, praising slavery-era fashion and cosplaying as a black girl with bronzer and an afro.
My best friend and I, when we were in 10th grade, we had like crazy crushes. We would drive around, like stalk these guys. We decided one night to go to the arcade where they were, and I put bronzer all over myself in a Scary Spice fro, so I thought they would think I was like a black girl, and so I could stalk them.
You see, this was so much more than a normal feud where even a streak of long-standing racism is mixed. And now we're going to take a name you won't believe. Leonardo DiCaprio and Blake Lively had quite the whirlwind romance back in the day, even though it didn't last long. Leo has a thing for dating women under 25, usually Victoria's Secret models. Blake wasn't a model, but at 24, she fit his age range. They dated for about 5 months before things fell apart. Leo wanted something serious, but Blake wasn't feeling it. The breakup hit Leo hard. He was filming The Great Gatsby and reportedly locked himself in his trailer, causing drama on set. Meanwhile, Blake moved on quickly, dating Ryan Reynolds, and now they're happily married. Fast forward to 2016 and the three ended up at the same event, the Amphar Gala. But things got awkward when Leo couldn't stop smiling and winking at Blake. Ryan wasn't thrilled and told her to cut it out, though he kept his cool around Leo. After that, Blake and Leo had little contact and drifted apart. Rumor has it, Leo's not a fan of Blake anymore, claiming she's too focused on her image. And apparently, Blake stirred up more drama by covering for someone else's messy affair. Either way, they're clearly living separate lives now, and it's probably for the best. Here's how it goes. Hugh Jackman's ex-wife, Deborah Lee Furness, accused Blake Lively of playing nice while secretly knowing about Hugh's alleged affair with Sutton Foster. Deb claims Blake didn't just stay silent, she lied to cover it up, which contributed to Hugh and Deb's 2023 split after 27 years. What stung even more for Deb was the belief that Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, might have known about the affair long before it surfaced, but stayed quiet. Deb always felt Blake would side with Hugh post-divorce, making her feel betrayed, especially since she thought they got along. Adding to the drama, Blake's behavior has raised eyebrows. And then comes Justin Baldoni. The whole controversy around It Ends With Us blew up, and apparently Justin had to hire a PR crisis manager to deal with the fallout. And then there's the subtle shade he threw. He announced he wouldn't be directing It Starts With Us. Basically, Justin was trying really hard to stay professional despite their rumored behind-the-scenes clash over directing and running the show. Blake's chaotic moments go way beyond the usual drama. She sent Justin a text about Game of Thrones and said something along the lines of, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll see I'm like Khaleesi. I've got dragons, and they protect the people I fight for, so everyone benefits from them. You will too, I promise." What does it mean? Basically compared herself and her bestie Taylor Swift to dragons, claiming they'd have her back no matter what. Now, sure, that sounds a little childish, but here's where it gets really ridiculous. She kind of spoiled how things might play out between her and Justin. And if you think that's the end of it, oh, there's more. Zendaya even got caught in the middle of this whirlwind during a Michael Kors fashion show. Rumor has it she threw some subtle shade at Blake and Emily Blunt. Body language experts were all over it, analyzing every little move. Zendaya later tweeted, "I was looking at the runway," but people were already buzzing. Speaking of shade, Blake's co-star in It Ends With Us, Brandon Sklenar, might have tossed some her way too. During an interview, when asked about falling in love with Blake's character on set, he dodged the question. When she pressed him, he quipped that rehearsing with Amir was easier than rehearsing with her. Blake's attempt to recreate a Barbie vs. Oppenheimer blockbuster moment with It Ends With Us and Deadpool Wolverine was ambitious but ultimately fell flat. She went all out to promote her film, but Deadpool stole the spotlight, selling out instantly. Surprisingly, she didn't even bother reading the book for It Ends With Us, a move that many saw as disrespectful to the story. Plus, Ryan, ever the jokester, poked fun at Justin by portraying him as a nice, cool guy with a man bun. With that, Blake's history of controversy resurfaced too. In 2017, she shared a disturbing story about a makeup artist who made inappropriate comments, applied her lipstick with his finger, and even filmed her on set while she slept. Though she was fully clothed, the incident was undeniably creepy. Rumors about the makeup artist's race also fueled speculation about Blake's alleged biases. When backlash mounted, Blake and Ryan reportedly leaned on Justin to control the narrative. They micromanaged him, from providing pre-written statements to overseeing his actions during filming, all to safeguard their movie's success. Their approach highlighted a pattern of dodging accountability, which left many unimpressed. And you know what? When Blake joined It Ends With Us, they had this deal to donate 1% of the movie's proceeds to support survivors of domestic violence. But Blake flat out refused to meet with No More, a nonprofit dedicated to ending domestic violence. That really shows where her priorities lie. She seemed to treat the whole project like a rom-com instead of the serious, sensitive topic it was supposed to address. And that led to one of her most bizarre moments yet. What do you think about this?